we made it to Sumero, our next objective should be to head to Sumero City and find a way to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. And speaking of Lesser Lord Kusanali, even though we haven't heard too much about her, she doesn't seem to be the same deity who abducted your brother. But even so, people call Sumero the Nation of Wisdom, you know. If we can get a chance to meet the God of Wisdom, maybe she can give us some useful information. But, Paimon doesn't know the way to Sumero City. Maybe we can climb up to that spot with the statue of the Seven on it. That'll give us a way better view of things. Even if we can't see exactly where the city is, at least we'll be able to check for some smaller settlements nearby. Wait a second. Look! There's someone up ahead! Perfect timing! Now we can just ask for directions rather than wander around like lost adventurers. Hey there! We're not from around here and seem to have gotten a little lost. We'd like to ask for some directions. Huh? Did they not hear Paimon? Hey! You over there! Could you give us some directions?
Huh?
What's going on here? There's no way she could have missed that. Wait! Could she be ignoring us? How dare she? Well, even so, she might be heading someplace where we could find other people to ask. Let's keep our distance and follow her. When we get the chance, we'll just ask someone else for directions. Come on, let's follow her. Just keep quiet. Make sure she doesn't notice us. On the road. Closer look. Paimon thought this cave would lead to a village or something, but, it looks like that's not the case. Look, she's sitting over there. Wait, she couldn't possibly be living here, could she? What should we do now? Do we try asking her for directions again? All right, then. It's not like we have anyone else we can ask. Even if she's not very friendly, we just need her to point us in the right direction. That's all. Oh. What a lovely smell. It's coming from that sensor over there. This is definitely not your typical place to call home, but at least it smells nice. Maybe living here wouldn't be too bad after all. Huh? What's the matter? You don't look too good. What? Is the smell making you feel sick? Strange. Paimon doesn't feel anything. you sure it's not serious? The Traveler's been out for a long time now.
Yes, you can relax. Believe me, Master is extremely knowledgeable. If he says that she's going to be alright, then there's absolutely nothing to worry about. Oh, are you awake now?
Oh, thank goodness! Traveler, you're finally awake! Well, we're at... Good question. Where are we? Paimon was in such a panic when you passed out that she even forgot to ask what place this is.
This is Gandharville. It was originally built by scholars from Sumero as a place to rest in the rainforest. Now it's mainly used by the forest rangers as a base of operations. My name is Kale. I'm a trainee forest ranger. My master and I found you passed out during our patrol, so we brought you here. Oh, no things are necessary. I didn't do anything really. By the way, how are you feeling now? Any discomfort? Oh, that's Master's herbal medicine you're tasting. He gave you some while you were unconscious. Before I forget, Master mentioned you should take more medicine once you wake up. Whoops!
Kale, what's the matter? Were you trying to retrieve the medicine? As I've already told you, you must be careful with these. I'll get it for you once I am finished here.
Sorry, Master.
Now, the guide to Avidia Forest's edible fungi is clearly posted on our bulletin board, but if Farbode forgets which mushrooms to avoid one more time, I'll have no choice but to leave the guide somewhere a little more visible. Like right smack on his forehead so others can remind him to be careful.
Right? This is the second time he's come down with food poisoning this month. I'll be sure to give him a good talking to.
Yes, please do. If, on the off chance, Farbode simply enjoys having little imaginary fairies dance before his eyes, then we'll just let him be. But the next time he requires any of our medicine, be sure to charge him accordingly. So, how are you doing? Feeling better?
Oh, this is my master, Forest Watcher Tainari. He is chief officer over all the rangers here in Gandharville.
I already informed Paimon about the reason you fell unconscious earlier. But now that you're awake, let me explain it for you as well. It is common practice for Sumeru scholars of certain darshans to dedicate themselves to training in meditation in isolated areas, particularly the nearby forests. While meditating, they use a certain incense known as Spirit Borneal to help calm their minds as they enter a state of deep rumination. In hopes of asking directions, you two followed a scholar named Hypatia into her cave. The incense you smelled inside was the Spirit Borneal I just mentioned. That incense typically has no effect on most people, but for a very select few, it can have profound effects on one's cognition, as you experienced firsthand. Does that make sense? Very good. Now, answer me this. Did you feel anything after passing out? Say, any out-of-body experiences, or did you see anything while unconscious? Kale, let the others know to stop bringing their patrol logs here for now.
Huh? Why?
Because these two will be staying here for the next few days. They can have my room and I'll bunk with Amir. Now get a move on and be sure to do as I've said.
Yes, Master Tainari.
Wait, hold on a second. Can you tell us what's going on?
Sure, let me fill you in. I originally planned to send you on your way once you finished your medicine. However, it appears now that you should stay a while longer in Gandharville for further observation while you recuperate.
Further observation?
No need to be hasty. As long as you have the capacity to judge between right and wrong, I promise that you'll understand the gravity of the situation once I explain everything to you. Based on what you saw after smelling the incense and losing consciousness, we can conclude that you experienced a powerful hallucination, which suggests your mental state is not in the best of shape. If you're skeptical, have a whiff of this.
Whoa, are you okay?
You're experiencing a similar sensation as when you passed out, aren't you? So even though your condition is stable as of now, if I were to haphazardly let you leave, it's highly likely that you'd suddenly pass out again somewhere else. The rainforest is home to many fierce animals and hazardous areas. If something were to happen to you again, I'm afraid you might not be so lucky. For now, I suggest you continue taking your medicine each day and avoid wandering off on your own, at least until you stop having adverse reactions to this kind of smell. Okay? Good. Now, continue resting while I fire up another bowl of medicine for you.
Seriously? We just arrived in Sumero and we're already having problems left and right! Paimon knows we're set on meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali as soon as possible, but you really don't look too good. It'd probably be best to let you recover first. Hey! Are you even listening to Paimon? Paimon's over here worrying about you, you know. What's weird? You mean how you're feeling now? You mean the vision of tree roots and red skies you saw? But if those weren't hallucinations, what could they be? Well, considering how unique you are, Paimon trusts your judgment here. But why didn't you say anything about it to Tighnari? If he misjudged your condition, then there's a chance you could get worse, right? Huh? You mean that Tighnari already knows that what you saw weren't hallucinations? But if that's the case, why would he try to hide that from us? Oh, Paimon gets it now. That explains why you were so quiet earlier. Well, that settles it then. We'll stay here to rest up and figure out what's going on with your hallucinations. But it seems like asking Tighnari might not be an option anymore. What do you think we should do? Good idea. Kale's pretty friendly. We can ask her tomorrow about what she knows regarding the Dendro Archon and customs in Sumero. Rise and shine! Come on, it's time to go find Kale!
All right, next let's see your right hand. Not bad. But please remember that you still need to be careful, understand?
Yes, I will. By the way, Master, I still haven't received the patrol route for today.
Look, Kale, today's patrol will be a long one, so you won't be coming along this time. Besides, there's a chance we may encounter... Well, you understand.
But I have a vision too! Am I useless to everyone now?
Don't talk like that, Kale. This is not something you need to be worrying about right now. Ah, there you are. Feeling any better?
Yeah, since we'll be staying here for now, we thought we might as well try lending a hand around here.
Seems you're not the type to sit back and take it easy for a while, huh? In that case, perhaps Kale could take you two for a patrol south of Gandharvaville for the day. And if you're feeling up to it, you can be responsible for cleaning the statue of the Seven.
Tighnari, we're ready to head out.
Got it! I'll be right there! All right, we'll be heading into the forest now. I'll leave any further details to Kale.
Yes, you can count on me.
So, Kale, what exactly are we going to be doing today? Tainari mentioned cleaning the statue just now, but, that doesn't really sound like the job for a ranger.
Well, a forest ranger's responsibilities can be pretty diverse. They handle a variety of tasks, like checking the condition of outlying roads, maintaining forest facilities, ensuring fire prevention standards are met, and providing assistance to travelers and locals. As for Master, well, he has to handle more dangerous areas of the rainforest. Today we can perform routine checks on the pathway lamps as we make our way to the Statue of the Seven. Paimon, traveler, this way! You can leave the task of checking the lamps to me. In the meantime, you two can keep an eye out for anything unusual. Nothing wrong with these two lamps. Let's move to the next ones. Oh, this lamp seems to be getting a little wobbly. Let me make a note of it. No problems with this lamp. Good. The Statue of the Seven is up on top of that large rock formation. You must have seen it when you came down this road before. It's pretty high up there, isn't it? Don't worry. If you're afraid you can't make it up there, I'm sure Master wouldn't mind if you don't clean the statue. Oh? I guess I'll leave it up to you then. There's not much footing once you reach the statue, so be careful up there.
Paimon will fly up with you and help you with those hard-to-reach areas. By the way, Kale, do you know anything about the Dendro Archon? You know, what's she like?
That depends. Are you referring to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? Oh, is that the name of the former Dendro Archon?
Uh-huh. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was Sumeru's first Dendro Archon. She created the rainforest as well as the wall of Samiel around the desert. Her works provided a means of peaceful living for everyone. To the people of Sumeru, she's not only a symbol of wisdom, but also of power and kindness. Unfortunately, she disappeared in a great calamity that occurred a few hundred years ago. According to what Master has told me, the sages later found the newly born Dendro Archon and whisked her back to Sumeru. To celebrate the reinstatement of their lost deity, the sages dubbed her Lesser Lord Kusanali and let her reside in the sanctuary of Sirastana.
Uh-huh. Then what happened?
Well, and then... I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest.
Huh? You're not too sure? But aren't you from Sumeru?
Yeah, I'm from Sumeru. But...
Maybe it's difficult to discuss this topic with strangers. If that's the case, then don't worry, we understand.
No, it's not that. I'm not trying to hide something from you. Besides, I don't consider you two strangers. Because you two know Amber, right?
Wait, Amber? You mean...
Yes, that's her. I once lived in Mondstadt for a while, and she helped me a lot during that time. You could even say that she helped me become a new person. There's no one like Amber. She lives life to the fullest while always adhering to her strong sense of justice. She's ready to answer the call for action at any moment, but is also very understanding of others. She's like the spark that lights the fire in everyone's heart around her. If you ask me, she's a prime example of a true outrider. She's the first person anyone coming to Mondstadt will meet. You can't help but be enthralled by her charm and enthusiasm, causing you to fall in love with the lands of Mondstadt and... Sorry.
Paimon thought the work of Outriders was a little different from what you just described, but one thing's for sure. You really like Amber.
Sorry. I was rambling on just now. It must have sounded kind of weird.
It's alright, Kale. Knowing that you're a friend of Amber somehow makes Paimon suddenly feel a lot closer to you. So, how do you know that we've met Amber?
Well, after I returned to Sumero, Amber and I have stayed in touch by writing each other letters. In one letter, she mentioned that Mondstadt was attacked by a fearsome dragon, but the city was saved by a mysterious blonde traveler and their floating companion. I knew you two were the ones she mentioned in the letter the moment I saw you. But, considering everything you've been through that day, I thought it'd be inappropriate to bring it up.
Ah, so that's how you knew.
Yep, so please know that you two have my complete trust, really. I wish I could tell you more about the Ginger Archon, but I have been away from Sumero for some time, and I haven't read any books. Sorry.
That's alright. You've already helped us a lot. We had never even heard of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or the Sanctuary of Surasthana until you mentioned them.
Oh, I'm happy that was helpful. There is one thing I want to ask, though. Why do you two want to know about the Ginger Archon? So that's why you're here. Thank you for telling me your story.
Don't mention it. We are friends after all, right? Alright, we have a statue to clean.
You both have my thanks. While you two are up there cleaning, I'll go ahead and inspect the forest canopy. Let's meet back here shortly. I'm not a very good climber, so I'll just let you handle the statue. I'll go check the facilities up ahead. By the way, once we're done with our work here, would you like to chat some more?
Now that Paimon looks at it, the deity that's carved on the statue is kinda small. Do you think she's supposed to be Greater Lord Rukkhadevata or Lesser Lord Kusanali? You might be right. The statue does look kinda old. Well, anyway, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's get started on cleaning the statue. Paimon will fly up and take care of the top, and you clean everything below. Nice work! That's one clean statue. Let's head down and meet up with Kale.
You must be tired after all that climbing. Let's take a little break. I brought some fruit and water for us.
Yay! Food! What kind of goodies did you bring? Hey! Don't be a party pooper. It's not like Kale is a stranger or anything. Besides, the best way to compliment a chef is to show passion for their food. Xiangling taught Paimon that.
I prepared a nice portable dish that forest rangers like to eat called pita pockets. I hope you'll like them. Whoops!
No! You dropped it on the ground!
Not to worry. I wrapped a few layers of oiled paper around each pita. They should be fine.
Oh, whew. Paimon nearly had a heart attack there. Those pitas are amazing! You're quite the cook, Kale. Thank goodness you wrapped them in paper. Paimon wouldn't have been able to sleep at night knowing something so tasty had been wasted.
You really know how to compliment the chef, Paimon. Since you liked it so much, I'll be sure to give you a copy of the recipe sometime. I'll even include all my personal cooking pointers, so you'll be making your own pita pockets in no time.
Yay! Thanks, Kale! It's hard to believe someone as diligent as you could have clumsy moments too.
Oh, I guess it happens from time to time.
So, Kale, don't you think that Tainari's a little too strict with you? He won't let you touch anything without his permission. Paimon knocks stuff over all the time flying around the Traveler, but she's never said anything. Everyone has their clumsy moments.
No, you've got the wrong idea about Master. Sure, he may seem a bit harsh at first, but with some time, you'll see that he's actually very kind-hearted. I've heard the veteran rangers say that Master is from some ancient and mysterious race that is known for their cunning wit and reclusive nature, but Master is actually very kind at heart. Oh, by the way, you've heard of the Academia, right? Well, there's a group called, something? Well, anyway, because Master does a lot of research on plants, sages from the Academia have written him many times, inviting him to take up an official position there. But Master declines their offers every time, saying, Sumeru City is too noisy. It'd be bad for my ears. I know, right? I've always wanted to pet them too. Anyway, Master could have easily left the rainforest to take up a position at the Academia, but he chose to stay here instead as a forest watcher, helping the locals every day and passing on his knowledge to trainees. In fact, Master's the one who taught me how to make pita pockets.
Really? Paimon would have never guessed that. Oh, speaking of Tainari, he was the one who took care of you after finding you passed out yesterday. He even carried you all the way here. Paimon's still kinda upset, though. He kept scolding Paimon the entire way here.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Master might have been overreacting a little. But it's mostly because Paimon wouldn't stop yelling, "Why, oh why? Is she going to die?" It probably started to get under Master's skin after a while.
Hey! Don't laugh! Paimon was genuinely concerned about you. Hey! Now even Kale's starting to laugh. Ugh, that's it! Paimon won't forget this! It's time for some Paimonial wrath!
No! Don't touch me!
Oh, sorry, Kale. Paimon didn't mean to scare you.
No, I just... I didn't mean that.
Kale, are you okay? What's the matter?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I must have startled you both reacting like that. Oh, well, it's getting late now. Let's hurry back to Gandharville. I think Master and the others should be back by now, too.
Huh? What was up with Kale just now? And why is she in such a hurry all of a sudden? Look, she's practically running back. Paimon can't even see her now.
Ah, Traveler. You've returned.
Yep, we're back. Have you seen Kale by any chance?
Oh, Kale? Yes, I saw her go into her room just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. Guess we'll just have to wait and talk to her tomorrow then. Paimon was thinking all night about what happened with Kale, and still can't figure out what the problem might be. Maybe she's in a better mood now. Let's go go check on her.
Ah, it's you two. I was just about to go look for you.
Huh? Tighnari? What are you doing here? Where's Kale?
I came to check on Kale's condition. To put it simply, she's not well.
You mean she's sick? How could she be... Oh, wait a minute. Could it be because of what Paimon did yesterday?
No need to worry. Something as small as you could never harm her. This sickness is something that Kale has been dealing with for some time. Kale has been more excited than usual since you two arrived. A little too much so, to be honest. She hasn't remembered to take care of herself. I suppose it's understandable, though. She hasn't been around anyone she considered a friend for some time now. It must have been refreshing for her to have you two here.
So, Tighnari, what's really wrong with Kale?
Let's take this conversation elsewhere. Kale just fell asleep after taking her medicine. She needs some peace and quiet.
Shh! Kale's asleep. Let's come back once she's feeling better.
All right, let's continue our conversation here, shall we? To be honest, I hadn't realized you were that honorary knight from Mondstadt until Kale told me just now. I've also heard all about your deeds in Liyue and Inazuma. So just to clarify, what I'm about to tell you about Kale is not because of who you are or your past feats. Instead, I am going to tell you because Kale asked me to. And honestly speaking, I was against Kale revealing her past to you. But she insisted, saying you two treated her with sincerity and as a friend. So now she wishes to reciprocate the gesture.
So, Tighnari, what exactly is wrong with Kale? You said this is something she's been dealing with for some time. Just how serious is it?
Right. Ever since she was a child, she's been afflicted with a disease called Elazar.
Elazar?
Yes. It's a disease unique to the lands of Sumero. It is characterized by dark and hardened scales that form on the body. At first, the afflicted may only feel mild numbness on affected areas of the skin. However, as the disease progresses, one may begin feeling fatigued and even experience peripheral paresthesia. In its final stages, the disease strips a person of the ability to control their own body, and they effectively become completely immobile.
That sounds terrifying. Wait, hold on. So when Kale seemed to be acting a little clumsy earlier, it was because...
Correct. That would be the effects of Elazar, which is precisely why I do not want her carrying or holding anything, lest she ends up hurting herself. With appropriate treatment, the disease can be effectively controlled before it progresses to a more serious stage. However, there is unfortunately still no true cure for Elazar. Nevertheless, Kale's mother still hoped that there was something out there. She handed Kale over to an organization known as the Fatui after one of their members lied and said they had a cure.
What? The Fatui?
It appears you already are familiar with them. That'll save me some explanation. Anyway, the person who eventually rescued Kale and brought her to me for care said that she had been given to a harbinger known as the Doctor. I have no idea how this doctor managed to do it, but her case of Elazar was completely stable for all the years that Kale was with them. However, Kale's days with the Fatui were anything but pleasant. Kale is a resilient individual and always tries to appear cheerful, but her experience with the Fatui has left deep scars. Even now, she can still feel deathly afraid of someone touching her.
Oh, Paimon had no idea Kale's been through so much suffering.
Oh, by the way, Paimon, Kale wanted me to tell you that she's sorry for scaring you yesterday. She also wanted both of you to know that she's sorry for hiding her illness.
She doesn't need to apologize. None of this is her fault at all.
Well said. I hope you'll get a chance to tell her that in person the next time you see her. Kale once thought that it would be impossible for her to have any real friendships. I trust that you two will never let my trainee experience such emotional pain again.
Don't worry, Tainari. We'll take good care of her.
Well, it's not too serious at this point. She overexerted herself the last couple of days, which is what led her to break down this time. As long as she has taken her medicine and gets plenty of rest, she should get better. Though I must admit that Kale's condition was much more stable when she first arrived here in Gandharvaville. She was interested in the work of the forest rangers the moment she saw us. I could see that she was serious about learning, so I felt compelled to ask her to join us. Her stamina has gotten much worse recently. Though a moderate amount of physical exercise is always necessary, I'm afraid the long-distance patrols are a little too much for her now. Alright, now that I've told you about Kale's past, I think I'll head into the rainforest to find some ingredients needed for her medicine. I'll see you two later.
Yeah, we'd like to do something to help Kale too.
Alright, but I must warn you two. The rainforest is a dangerous place, especially for someone who's still recovering, like the Traveler. You must follow closely and listen to every instruction.
No problemo.
Let's go then. We'll be looking for a plant known as the Nilotpala lotus. It's often used to help those afflicted with Elazar recover their energy.
Hey, Tainari? Where exactly are we going to find this plant?
Nilotpala lotuses can be found all over the rainforest, but it often grows right here around Gandharvaville.
Given the name, it sounds like we should be looking for it in the water.
You are correct. The Nilotpala lotus grows in the water. When fully matured, they look like giant blue flowers floating on the water's surface. Quite an attractive species, if you ask me. The large petals are actually the plant's leaves and sepals, which surround a very small flower. You should note that many of the plants found in Sumero have names that are contrary to their species. Take the Cowpelata, for example. The plant is not a lotus at all, but rather a vine. And then there's the Sumeru rose, which is not a rose, and is completely contrary to its name.
Oh, okay then. Note to Paimon. Never bring up the topic of flowers with Tainari.
There should be Nilotpala lotuses growing somewhere in this area. Let's split up and begin searching. If you could manage to gather 4 of them, that would be sufficient. We'll rendezvous here once you've gathered the needed amount.
Alright, we've gathered enough Nilotpala lotuses. Let's head back to meet Tainari. Hey, Tainari! We found the lotuses you requested.
Let me have a look. Good. Very good. These are all excellent quality. I'm glad you two came along. Your exploration experience helped save me a lot of time here. It seems we even have enough time to stock up on other things I need.
Hey, Tainari!
Oh, Tainari! Someone's calling your name! They're dressed like a forest ranger.
Ah, yes, that's Amir and the others. But didn't they just set off not too long ago? What are they doing back so early? Let's go find out what's going on.
Tainari, thank goodness we found you here. We were just about to head back and find you at Gandharvaville.
What's going on?
We just discovered a withering zone.
The withering is back? But the patrol route you were on should have been already cleared just a week ago. It reappeared so quickly. Can you tell me the exact location?
It's up ahead, deep in the river valley. It's appeared in a spot that blocks nearly the entire narrow part of the valley area, so we decided to come find you as quickly as possible.
And the radius of the contamination?
Sorry, I couldn't get a clear enough view to tell.
No one in our patrol team had a vision, and it appeared to still be spreading, so we didn't risk getting any closer.
Okay, I understand. You made the right decision. I'll go deal with it right away. In the meantime, please guide these two back to Gandharvaville.
Wait, Tainari, why don't you let us help you?
You two have only just arrived in Summeru. You're still unfamiliar with many things in these lands. There's a unique type of anomaly that occurs in the Summeru rainforest. It's called the withering. The affected areas not only cause nearby vegetation to wither, but it's also lethal to wildlife and even people. If you don't carry a vision, then you should think twice before approaching such places.
Yes, Amir is absolutely right. I wasn't kidding when I said the rainforest is a dangerous place. As Amir said, only someone with a vision, that is, the power to manipulate elements, will be able to resist the withering's corrosive effects for a time.
That's right. If any of the forest rangers without a vision come across a withering zone, we first make a record of the location and then have a ranger with the proper abilities deal with it, like Tainari here. Only someone with a vision can venture within a withering zone and find a way to deal with it. But you don't seem to carry a vision.
Don't worry, she may not have a vision, but she's a real pro at using the power of the elements.
Seems the rumors about you were true then. In that case, all right, you two may accompany me. We typically only teach visitors how to identify the withering as they're about to leave Gandharvaville. We'll make an exception today and show you what it looks like up close. Stop. Don't move any further. Look there, in the distance.
Huh? Where? Oh, look! Those plants have withered! That whole area is kinda gloomy. Even the air looks like it's filled with ash. Oh, Paimon doesn't like the look of this.
That is the withering. All right, traveler. We're gonna have to enter that withering zone. Once inside, we'll need to look for what we call tumors of the withering. If we eliminate those, then the area will be saved. Thank you. But I must warn you, don't push yourself. This is your first time handling this sort of thing, after all. Even with elemental powers, once you step inside the withering zone, you may experience extreme discomfort. If at any point it becomes too much, return outside the zone and take a breather. It could become a matter of life and death. You ready then? Let's go. First, we must locate any branches sustaining the withering zone. Great work. Now that all the branches have been cleared, we'll need to take care of the tumor.
With sword comes shadow.
destroy the tumor of the withering.
We did it! Everything's returning to normal now!
Yes. Thanks to you two, we were able to quickly restore this area back to normal.
Tighnari? You make it sound like we did well, but why does Paimon have the feeling you're worried about something?
It's that obvious, huh? Alright, it's like this. Recently, the rate at which withering zones appear has been increasing. Even though we were able to quickly clear that withering zone, it won't be long before another one appears. If that simply meant more work for me, then that wouldn't be an issue. But it's far more severe than that. The withering is leaving lasting effects on the rainforest itself. For instance, even though we cleared out the withering zone, many of the plants that were affected will not recover. This presents a crisis for the ecosystem itself. Many plants in the rainforest are already in decline, directly impacting the wildlife that depends on those plants. And most disturbingly, as the appearances of withering zones have started to increase, Kale's case of Elazar has also become more serious.
Huh? But why's that?
I'm still not sure of the exact reason. However, I've received word from acquaintances at the academia that similar cases are being reported for patients with other conditions. No, none that we know of. The withering has been recorded in Sumero for millennia. It's said that it originates from the depths of the world. Oh, by the way, have you heard of Irminsul before? Irminsul is a tree located deep beneath the surface. Although it isn't like any tree we know in a biological sense, you can basically think of it as a large tree that grows downwards rather than upwards. I'm sure you've heard of ley lines, right? They're like the roots of Irminsul, spreading and extending from a massive cavern deep underground all the way up to the surface. Ley lines continually absorb the memories of this world, which are then funneled into Irminsul, allowing it to collect knowledge and wisdom from ancient times to present day. The Dendro Archon is known as the god of wisdom because her consciousness is directly connected to it. It is also said that the Dendro Archon's power is a manifestation of Irminsul. And as for the withering, its emergence is related to a disease that's affecting it. That's right. My ancestors learned of this from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's familiars a long time ago, but even those mysterious creatures did not know of a cure for Irminsul. I'm afraid we rangers will be battling the withering zones here for a long time, until a cure is found. Alright, that's enough on this topic for the time being. Now that we've taken care of things here, it's time for us to head back to Gandharvaville.
Oh, Tighnari, you all made it back. How did it go?
The withering zone you reported has been taken care of. No need to worry. Huh? Wait, is that? Oh no, Hypatia!
Huh? What's wrong, Tighnari?
This Duskbird is Hypatia's designated courier for urgent news. You do remember her, don't you? She's the scholar you and Paimon were following when you first arrived in Sumero.
Oh, her? How could we forget? So did something happen?
Let me see what's written in the letter first.
So what's it say? And what's with that weird expression on your face? Just let Paimon read it. Huh? All Paimon sees are 3 squiggly lines.
Yes, allow me to explain. After we brought you from Hypatia's cave to Gandharvaville, Hypatia resumed her meditation. She must have just finished. It's been nearly 3 days since she's had anything to eat, and it appears she's forgotten to prepare some rations. This letter is her asking us for help. We need to go.
What? You mean she's been sitting there for 3 days? Hey, wait, how did you know all that from just a few
obviously because this has happened before. Last time she drew 5 lines, and by the time we found her, well, I'd prefer not to remember that. Needless to say, Hypatia's been through worse, but we should still get to her as quickly as possible. I've got some emergency rations set aside for times like these. Paimon, Traveler, could you two bring these to her?
Wait, you want us to bring her the rations? But will the Traveler be okay if her cave is still filled with that funny incense?
Let's find out. Here, Traveler, take a smell and see. So, how do you feel?
Huh? Really? You're not feeling even a little drowsy? But wait, how'd you know that she'd be okay this time, Tighnari?
Back when we were clearing the Withering Zone, I observed that she could adeptly manipulate the dendro element. I knew then that she would be fine. And if I may ask, when I was telling you two about Irminsul's ley lines, was what I described similar at all to what you saw when you were unconscious? That's correct. Those weren't hallucinations at all, though I don't intend to apologize for deceiving you. Because what you saw is of significant importance, not just for the nation of Sumeru, but the entire world of Teyvat. My forefathers were shown much favor by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. We took an oath to protect this nation together with her. Now that that duty has fallen to me, it was a part of my responsibilities to ascertain whether you could be entrusted with the fate of Sumeru. Now, after seeing you in action with my own eyes, you have earned my confidence, and I no longer feel the need to hide any secrets from you. When you passed out, your consciousness had connected directly with Irminsul. What you witnessed were actually real memories contained within Irminsul itself. I could try to tell you more, but it would be better if you went to ask Hypatia instead. Her focus on meditation and use of Spirit Borneal are aimed at establishing a connection with Irminsul, just as you did.
That sounds nice and all, but will she
That was because when you ran into her, she was in a special phase of her training. During that time, she must avoid communicating with others. Please, wait here for a moment. Here, take these. It's a meal I packed for Hypatia, as well as some other ingredients. I'm sure it'll come in handy. Also, here's a letter that I would like you to give to her. Just show it to her, and she'll answer any questions you may have. No, I should be the one thanking you. You've both been a great help these last few days. Anyway, please take good care of Hypatia. I'll go prepare Kale's medicine now. Using the Nilot Palo lotuses while they are still fresh will significantly boost their effectiveness. Rest assured, Kale will recover quickly as long as she has her medicine.
Hello? Hypatia? Hey, there's nobody here. Maybe she went out to look for some food. Let's try looking around the area. Aisha, are you alright?
So hungry. Need water.
There's no way we can get her to eat in her current condition. Let's try finding some water first. Huh? Wait. Why does it look super foggy outside all of a sudden? Anyway, let's go look around. Huh? How'd things out here end up looking like this? What happened? And where are we? Really? Oh, maybe you're right. Let's go investigate the area. Wow, this place is huge! I knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Propagate! Incoming!
Huh? What happened just now? Why'd everything around us suddenly change?
Got lucky that time. Incoming! Hey! With sword comes shadow. Speed of light. I'll be fine. Let the show begin. Cut to the chase. Incoming.
into that is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Let's dance.
Well. Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this strange place?
Strange place. Plotting. You needn't worry about such things. They don't concern you.
Speed of light! Hey! With sword comes shadow. Don't blink! Propagate! Speed of light! Nowhere to hide. Incoming! Germinate! Speed of light!
Resistance is futile!
Cut to the chase! Don't blink!
The end will come!
Nice and spicy! Huh? Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it! We faced others like him before! What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are. Your brother? Oh, pitiful traveler. Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? His Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in his eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that? Oh, guess that makes sense. She does look kind of rough at the moment. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's all right first. Whoa, wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Who is there? Tighnari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tighnari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
I see. So, you're friends of Tighnari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Wait, hold on a second, Traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the Traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me. Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul. Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier... Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Irminsul later. All right, we're up, traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit. Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable.
Booba, get them! Let the show be... All done! Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already watched it. Oh, it smells amazing! And the box is a nice touch, too! Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia!
Are you already finished cooking? Smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte. Even though everything you mentioned was in Tighnari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling spirit-born eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the academia even lauded me as a genius. You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make spirit-born ale primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth. Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was she sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to her body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, she could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experience the sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of spirit-born ale would cause adverse effects. Not to worry, though. It appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of spirit-born ale should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa, you're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumero have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa. So knowledge from Irminsul could be super dangerous. Don't you ever feel afraid of the risk, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumero can ever dream.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical. Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the God of Wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough, I never dreamed again. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things she saw when she connected with Irminsul?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life, I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me. There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Heading out, I see? If there's anything else you'd ever like to ask about, you know where to find me. Even though that little neighbor of mine was able to induce a state of dreaming, I doubt they were able to control the actual contents of the dream. The end of your dream seemed quite terrifying. Perhaps there's something that's troubling you deep inside? Not to worry, though. I'm sure you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way in the real world. As someone from Sumeru who cannot dream, I needn't ever worry about nightmares. But lately, I've started to feel that I'm somehow missing something without dreams. It's a little hard to explain. Heading out, I see? If there's anything else you'd ever like to ask about, you know, Sumero researchers use spirit-born ale to assist them in connecting with Irminsul to extract knowledge from it. Though the process can be risky, we believe that the knowledge gained is worth it. Unfortunately, I cannot help you understand your dream. At least not yet. I'm still learning how to attune to the depths of Irminsul myself. I hope that I'll be able to ascend past Satyavada life and gain deeper insights. Heading out, I see? If there's anything else you'd ever like to ask about, you know where to find me. I've heard local children here in the rainforest speaking of fairy-like creatures. But I'm from Sumeru City, and have never heard of such things when I was a child. Perhaps this is because I had a very strict upbringing. My parents would seldom allow me to play with other children. I doubt they'd ever believe me if I told them about my little neighbor out here. And speaking of my little neighbor, I think they can somehow sense when Tighnari is coming to visit me. I've noticed on several occasions that as they're playing under the trees, they'll suddenly tense up and scamper away for no apparent reason. Shortly after they do this, Tighnari always shows up here. Perhaps I should ask Tighnari about this the next time I see him. Heading out, I see? If there's anything else you'd ever like to ask about, you know where. Take care. Do remember to come visit anytime you're in the area. I would be happy to chat with you.
Think about it, Tighnari. Refusing to join is tantamount to burying your head in the sand. I understand that you're a forest watcher and that it's your duty to combat the effects of withering zones. But isn't it evident that such work is not a lasting solution to the problem? As Sage Kage clearly stated, your presence and guidance in Sumero City is pivotal in finding a cure for Irminsul. How could you possibly refuse?
Keep your emotions in check, Ghulam. Let's at least listen to Tighnari's reason for declining. We're here to invite him to the academia, not to cause a scene.
Sage Kage, I am truly honored that you came here in person, but I'm afraid I must still decline your invitation. I am merely a forest watcher. How could the great minds of the Haravatat have any need of someone like me?
Well, it turns out that your refusal letter had some implications on your master's reputation. He is a renowned sage of the Immorta, after all. So now I've come here in his stead.
I see. Well, I figured that given his temper, he would come here and berate me personally.
Tighnari, your master is an integral part of this effort, and now he requires your assistance.
And what exactly does my master need of me, Sage Kage?
You'll know, once you've arrived in Sumero City, that is.
And, how long will I be required to stay?
There's no definite answer as of now.
Do you mean to tell me that, despite coming all the way here to Gandharvaville, you still can't answer the questions I laid out in the letter to my master? If that's the case, then I'm afraid I cannot give you a definite answer either.
Tighnari, but you...
So be it. Come, Ghulam, we're leaving.
Tighnari, what was that all about?
It's nothing. Some people from the academia wanted me to go to Sumero City to assist them with a project, but I had to refuse on account of all my responsibilities here. But all that can wait. How did things go with Hypatia?
It was quite the eventful trip, but the main thing is that she's safe and sound. She answered a bunch of questions for us, too.
Very good. Now that the traveler has made a full recovery, there shouldn't be any reason for you to tarry here longer. I assume you will be heading to Sumero City, correct?
That's right. We want to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali and ask her for advice. Do you have any idea on how we can find her?
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any advice for you there.
Well, do you at least know anyone we can try asking in Sumero City?
Let me think. My trips to Sumero City have been fairly short, and most of my acquaintances are researchers. Oh, how about this? I'll write you a letter of introduction that you can give to a researcher I know. He's from the Amorta Darshan and is adept at gathering information. Asking him might prove worthwhile. Also, when you enter Sumero City, you'll probably end up receiving something like this item here. I'm not sure if it will ever come in handy for you, but maybe you can give it a try.
Oh? What is it?
It's called an Akasha Terminal. It's a tool produced by the Academia that utilizes the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. Some say that this item is the very basis of Sumeru's reputation as the City of Wisdom. Needless to say, this device and its usage fall under the Academia's expertise, so I'll leave it to them to show you how to use it.
Great! Next up, Sumero City! But wait, before that... That's right! Tainari, we have something important to say to Kale before we leave. Is she doing better now?
Yes, she's doing much better. After being confined to her bed all this time, I thought a little walk would do her some good. Last I saw her, she was taking the path towards the North Crossing. She knew you two would be leaving soon, so she must have wanted to see you off.
Thanks, Tainari. All right, let's go!
Farewell, and good luck to you both. Kale is waiting at the northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there. Don't you worry about Kale. I'll look after her. I'll find a way to understand the relationship between the withering and her disease. Kale is waiting at the northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there. It seems there's a major project underway at the Academia, and my master has also joined the effort. But I can't afford to leave Gandharvaville now. Things are not going well here in the rainforest, and Kale needs someone to watch over her. Besides, I never was one for all the pomp and circumstance of life at the Academia. Given that my master hasn't come to give me an earful personally, it seems that my presence is not as sorely needed as they make it out to be. In fact, the letter he sent me was uncharacteristically polite. Kale is waiting at the northmost crossing of Gandharvaville. You should be able to find her there. You should be able to find her there. Farewell, traveler.
I've been waiting for you two. Never mind. I guess I should just wish you two a safe and successful journey.
Thanks for waiting here just to see us off, Kale. We're headed to Sumero City.
Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. My condition won't be getting in the way of my duties. I want to be a forest ranger after all. It's up to me and the others to protect the rainforest here. And, I'm sorry. I should have told you both about my condition when we first met. I just wanted you two to treat me as a normal friend, not some girl that needs your sympathy. But I guess now I understand that the most important thing is for friends to be genuine with one another.
There's no need to apologize, Kale. We should be thanking you for trusting us enough to be your friends and sharing your past with us. We're probably still gonna worry about your condition, but that's because we're friends and we care about you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Before you leave, I have something for you.
Oh? What is it?
It's my recipe for pita pockets. I I told you that I'd give you a copy, remember? My handwriting is a little, messy, so please don't laugh.
Yay! Thanks, Kale. Now we can eat those scrumptious little pitas whenever and wherever we like.
I hope that whenever you eat them, you'll both remember your time here in Gandharveville. Well then, I, trainee Forest Ranger Kale, bid you both farewell. Please visit Gandharveville again. The Rangers will always be ready to assist you here. I hope you have a safe trip to Sumero City and get to meet the Dendro Archon there. I'm much better now. I'll be back on patrol again starting tomorrow. Even though I'm not quite ready to help Master clear the Withering Zones yet, there are still plenty of other tasks for me to handle. Oh, and Traveler, if you ever see Amber again during your travels, please don't mention my illness to her, okay? Amber knows about my case of Elazar and what's happened in my past, but I haven't told her about my condition getting worse. I guess I just don't want her to worry about me. If the need arises, I'll tell her about it myself.
All right, we understand, Kale.
I hope you have a safe trip to Sumero City and get to meet the Dendro Archon there. Kinda hard to believe that Master Tighnari can cook, isn't it? His culinary techniques are very polished, but his taste is a little, unusual. It's not really his fault, though. He just has a sensitive tongue and nose, so he prefers much lighter flavors. The last time I went a little too heavy on the spices for my pita pockets, Master started having a sneezing fit. Of course, I never heard the end of it after that. I hope you have a safe trip to Sumero City and get to meet the Dendro Archon there. See you later! Be sure to come back often. Even though Master didn't admit it, I'm sure he wants to see you again.
That's everything. On to the next. Yeah.
One moment, please, you two. It appears this is your first time visiting Sumeru City.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But how did you know that?
Because there's currently no information on either of you in the Akasha. But no need to worry, that won't prevent you from entering the city. In fact, the Academia conveniently provides each traveler to Sumeru City with a device. Perhaps you two have heard of the Akasha before. It's our beloved Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's lasting legacy, a treasure trove of collected knowledge. After centuries of tireless research on the Akasha, the Academia created one of its most ingenious inventions, the Akasha Terminal. As long as you are within Sumeru's borders, you may use an Akasha Terminal to connect directly to the Akasha and access any knowledge you need. I should mention that due to technical limitations, the operation of Akasha Terminals will be much smoother and more effective in large cities such as Sumeru City and Port-Ормос.
Oh, so this is the thing that Tighnari was telling us about. It sounds pretty amazing.
You two are quite fortunate. Until recently, it was standard practice to only issue Akasha Terminals to outlanders who spent an extended amount of time in Sumeru. However, this policy was recently changed, and now all travelers are issued one upon arrival. Here are your Akasha Terminals. Please handle them with care.
It kinda looks like a leaf.
To activate it, simply hold it in your hand and say the following phrase to yourself. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom.
Oh, since this little doodad lets you access knowledge, maybe we can use it to find a way to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let's give it a try. Ahem. May the mighty God bless us with their voice of wisdom. Whoa! Just now, something clicked, and Paimon suddenly knew how to use this thing. It seems all we need to do is concentrate on what we want to know, and bam! You get it. Oh, that'll come in real handy.
Exactly. That is the power of the Akasha. And with that, let me officially welcome you both to Sumeru City. May the wisdom of the Dendro Archon always be your guide.
Okay, now that we're in, we can check the Akasha about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Let Paimon try. 500 years ago, the sages found a newly born deity from within some scorched ruins. The deity now resides in the sanctuary of Surasthana. Seems pretty similar to what Kali was telling us. Okay, next, let's concentrate on asking how to meet her. Paimon doesn't sense anything. The Akasha didn't respond to Paimon's question. Oh, come on! Ugh. Focusing on this question feels like when you have something you're trying to remember and it's on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't think of it. Ugh, Paimon's brain is exhausted. Oh, smart idea. But what are you going to ask it? You too? Well, glad it's not just Paimon. Uh-oh. Paimon's getting all teary-eyed all of a sudden. It feels like the people of Sumeru really missed their Archon. Huh. Could it be because we're Outlanders and we've only just arrived in Sumeru? You know, maybe we're not qualified to receive an answer to this sort of question or something. Well, seems no matter which way we try, we can't find anything that'll lead us to Lesser Lord Kusanali. Guess our only choice now is to try meeting with the researcher that Tighnari recommended. He's from Sumero and even has a position in the academia. Maybe he'll be able to access more info from the Akasha. Let's see. Tighnari wrote an address on the letter's envelope. Oh, it's not far from the city's gate. Let's head over and have a look. Hopefully he's at home. Hello, are you Rохаvi?
Yes, that's me. Can I help you?
Great! You see, Tighnari sent us here and...
What? Tighnari? Please, there's no need to say anything, really. Sure, I admit that the article I published last month wasn't my best work, and maybe the data didn't produce the most convincing results, but...
Here! This is a letter from Tighnari!
Oh, let me see... Oh! Ooh, what a relief. You two nearly scared the life out of me. So, you two just have some questions for me? Seems even Tighnari acknowledges my innate ability for procuring information. So, what is it you two would like to know?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You mean you want to meet the Dendro Archon herself? This isn't exactly my area of expertise, but let me see what I can find in the Akasha. Sorry, the Akasha didn't respond to my query.
What? You too? But what about your abilities for getting information and all that? Paimon was sure you'd be able to access more info than we did.
Well, as I said, this isn't my area of expertise. I am but a lowly researcher, so the Akasha doesn't see a need for me to know more about the Dendro Archon. All I know is that ever since Lesser Lord Kusanali returned to Sumero, she's never left the sanctuary of Sorasthana or made a public appearance.
Huh. Didn't expect her to be such a mysterious figure.
The Dendro Archon is somewhat of a recluse. Perhaps she just doesn't want to entertain visitors, which would explain the lack of information in the Akasha.
But then what can we do?
No need to worry just yet. I'm only hypothesizing here. You could certainly try asking around and see if anyone else has ideas. And besides, you two should consider the bright side of things. Not being able to see Lesser Lord Kusanali may not be a bad thing. In this world, there will always be information you cannot obtain from the Akasha and things you can never accomplish. Knowing when to yield is a form of wisdom. Take me, for example. It's a miracle if my brain cells can spit out one paper every 3 years. But Tighnari? That guy can publish 3 papers in just a single year.
Okay. Thanks for your advice.
Don't mention it. If you two ever want information about things like who's been promoted within the academia or relations between the 6 great sages, come find me. Hey, come on. This is a survival skill at the academia.
Paimon's expectations were pretty low, but this is so low it's like digging holes in the dirt. So what do we do now? Even if we want to talk to someone, we don't know anybody here. Huh? Like who? Oh, you're right! Catherine! The Adventurers Guild has its own intel network. Let's hurry and find her.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Hello, Traveler and Paimon.
Catherine, we need your help with something.
Understood. The Adventurers Guild is always ready to serve you. With what do you require assistance?
We want to meet with Lesser Lord Kusanali. Do you know a way we can do that?
You two wish to meet with Sumeru's Archon. Understood. Please wait. I apologize, but I am unable to call up any relevant information in the Akasha. I'm also unable to locate any pertinent information in my personal memory.
Aww, another dead end. Well, if Catherine can't help us, then we really don't know anyone else to ask now.
Please do not worry. I may know of someone who can help you two. In Sumeru, the Adventurers Guild does not serve as the vanguard of information. Rather, there are numerous active mercenary groups collectively known as the Eremites. They take on various contracts and work all across Sumeru, so they naturally accrue intelligence. An Eremite brigade called the Corps of 30 is in charge of Sumeru City's defenses. Not only are they the oldest brigade, but they are responsible for managing and coordinating the affairs of all other mercenary brigades.
Corps of 30? What a weird name.
Supposedly, they are named as such because their ranks numbered 30 at their inception. Asfand, an advisor with the Corps of 30, maintains good relations with the Adventurers Guild. Though he's already retired, he and his words carry great weight within mercenary circles. If you'd like to get in contact with him, you can find him at the Corps of 30's headquarters, the Citadel of Regzar. You're welcome. I wish you two the best of luck. We look forward to your exploits in Sumeru.
All right, off to the Citadel of Rexar we go!
Welcome. The Adventurers Guild told me to expect you two.
It's nice to meet you, Asfand. We'd like to ask you about something.
I see. So, Catherine's the one who sent you this way. Ha! It's true that the Eremites' network is vast, but even I can't help you meet the Dendro Archon.
Wait, seriously? That's it?
Afraid so. The Eremites aren't terribly religious, so we don't know much about divinities. As far as the Akasha goes, we can access even less than you. We originally came from the desert. The gods there died off long ago. Since those days, we've used our own two hands to carve out a living. We don't beg gods for their aid. It isn't just us, though. If you ask me, I think most in Sumeru aren't interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Oh? Why's that?
Just take the Academia, for example. They're the ones who truly rule Sumeru. Although they believe in gods, most of them only care for the late Greater Lord Rugurdevada. In their eyes, she was the one who founded Sumeru and gifted us with the Akasha. Lesser Lord Kusanali just happened to inherit her legacy. Because of the Academia's influence, most citizens are more familiar with Greater Lord Rugurdevada and hold her in greater esteem. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali never makes an appearance, and the Academia never announces anything about her. As far as the people of Sumeru are concerned, she's just a god that exists. And that's all.
Really? Aw. After hearing all of that, Paimon sort of feels bad for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! But who knows? We're all just guessing when it comes down to it. Besides, I'm sure the God of Wisdom doesn't worry about her reputation among people like us.
All right. Well, thanks for the info, Osfond.
No problem. Always happy to help out the Adventurers Guild.
Seems Osfond was right about most people's attitudes here. Not only are they not interested in the Dendro Archon, they even say stuff like, if the Akasha doesn't think I should know, then I don't need to know about it. We've been asking for information non-stop ever since we got to Sumero, but the harder we try, the more helpless everything seems. Isn't there at least one person in this entire city who cares about Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Oh, you two are interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Huh? Who are you?
From the sound of it, you two are Outlanders who recently arrived here. You've been asking around for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Dunyarzad, one of Lesser Lord Kusanali's faithful followers.
Whoa, really? Then do you know how we can meet with her?
I'm afraid I can't help you with that. But your conversation earlier did happen to remind me of a legend about the Dendro Archon. Sure. It goes like this. Long, long ago, there was a man who heard a prophecy. It predicted that a great calamity was about to befall him. Panicked by what he heard, the man sought out the Dendro Archon in hopes that she would bless him with the wisdom to help him escape his predicament. The man journeyed across deserts and through rainforests and experienced tribulations of every kind. However, he still couldn't find any trace of the Dendro Archon. In despair, he thought, alas, the Archon has abandoned me. He then had no choice but to sorrowfully resign to his fate.
Okay, and then what happened?
And then, the calamity came. But to his own surprise, the man felt somehow emboldened by the trials of his journey. By relying on his own strength, he managed to overcome the adversity. At that moment, a bird perched upon his shoulder. This bird was, in fact, an avatar of the Dendro Archon. She said, "O Archon Seeker, do you now understand? She and her wisdom have long been found by you. Along your journey, we were in every flower and blade of grass, every ray of sparkling sun, and every breath of dancing wind. So long as you continue to think and ponder, we'll be wherever you go."
Yeah, thanks for the story! Paimon feels all warm and fuzzy inside after that.
In a way, it seems like this story is also one of the Dendro Archon's avatars.
Dunyarzad, since you worship Lesser Lord Kusanali, can you tell us anything else about her?
Of course. So did you two know that, I'm terribly sorry, but it seems something's come up now. Let's chat another day.
Hey, wait! What the heck just happened? It looks like they're searching for someone. Dunyarzad was acting super nervous just now. You think they're looking for her? This stinks! We finally managed to find a lead about Lesser Lord Kusanali! We can't let them get in the way now. Let's see if we can get rid of them. Then we can catch up with Dunyarzad.
Hey, have you two seen a brown-haired girl wearing a purple top and a long blue dress? We're looking for her.
Did she have bandages wrapped around her wrists?
Yes, that's her. Did you see which direction she went?
Yeah, she went that way.
Quick, after her!
That should keep him busy for a while. Let's hurry and find Dunyarzad. Dunyarzad. We thought you might have been long gone by now.
Oh, it's you two. Oh, you startled me there.
You can relax now. We threw those people looking for you off the trail.
Really? Thank you so much. Unfortunately, I believe there's still more of them out there looking for me. Uh-oh, looks like there's some coming this way.
Huh? More of them? Then what are we standing here for? Run!
No, wait, my body isn't in the best shape. It's difficult for me to run. Okay, sounds good. There's a tavern on the other side of the port we can go to. They probably wouldn't expect me to hide in a place like that.
All right, let's move out. Stay behind us. We'll keep an eye out for anyone looking for you.
We made it. Oh, they shouldn't be able to find us now. Wait, stand down, Dia.
My lady, who are these two?
They're travelers that I met on the street just a moment ago. They happened to notice that you were all searching for me, so they helped me hide.
I see. In that case, you two should scram. There's nothing here for you.
Wait a sec! Who the heck are you? And why are you shooing us away?
I'm Miss Dunyarzad's bodyguard, here to see that she returns home safe and sound. My lady, let's get going. You've been gone for so long that your parents are worrying themselves sick.
And if I refuse to go with you?
It'd be easier for the both of us if you cooperated. But if you insist on not going, then I'll have to carry you like a sack of potatoes.
Hey! Dunyarzad already said she doesn't want to go back. Why are you still pushing her?
Stay out of this. You don't understand the situation. Sorry, my lady. Even though I'm your bodyguard, your parents are my employers. I have to answer to them.
How much?
Wait, what?
How much more do I have to pay you to become your employer? So you never listen to my parents ever again. Double? A triple? Give me some time and I'll get that much.
My lady, this isn't about Mora. I don't know what you think of us Eremites, but let me say this. I like Mora, but I'll never go against my principles. That's why I'm here looking for you. Sure, it's an order from my employer, but my conscience was also telling me it's the right thing to do. And knowing your health, carelessly running around like this is gonna hurt ya. For the sake of those who love you, don't be stubborn.
No, you're wrong. I'm aware of my limits and I know what I'm doing. Honestly, the only people being stubborn right now are my parents. And they know perfectly well that it makes no difference if I'm at home or not. They still won't accept reality. And every time I bring this up, they just change the subject. Dia, you've been living with us a long time already. This should be old news to you. Dia, I know it hasn't been easy for Mother and Father, and I'm grateful for everything they've done for me. But there's someone else in this world I'm also grateful to. Because she saved me. The love I have for her is the same I have for my parents. This is my life and my last chance. So I want to do something meaningful.
My lady, are you sure what you're doing now is meaningful?
Yes, I'm sure. At least, it is to me.
Fine, I won't ask you to return home anymore. But let me make something very clear. I'm only doing this because I respect your determination, not because I agree with you.
Thank you, Dia. Sorry for being so rude just now. My nerves were acting up. And I even brought up your payment in such an offensive way.
Don't worry about it, my lady. I did say that I like Mora. Besides, that's our next topic of conversation. Today's little excursion caused such a ruckus that every single bodyguard at the estate was deployed. It wouldn't be easy to hide things from your old man. Since this definitely won't be your last escapade, here's a little tip. You should at least make it look like your room and things are still in order when you leave. Also, you'll need someone to cover you for when you're out and about. So, I'll let you hire me, my lady. This way, everyone wins. As for the pay, let's say half of what your father pays me. We can settle the bill when we return to the estate.
Okay, deal.
Yay! Looks like they've reached an understanding.
I'm fine, really. I just feel a little tired now that things have calmed down.
My lady, stop trying to look tough. We're already in a tavern, so let's rest up and grab some grub.
I'm sorry for worrying you two. If you don't mind, I'd like for you to join us.
Sure! After you rest up, we want to hear more about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Ha! Well, if it isn't Dia, haven't seen you in nearly half a year. Word on the street is that you're a bodyguard for the Homayani family now. Ha! Don't you find that kind of work boring?
Nah, you get used to it. How about a menu over here?
You got it. Huh? Isn't this little Miss Homayani herself? We don't get to serve personages like you very often. We'll be sure to prepare our very best.
Thank you, sir, but there's no need. I don't have a lot of Mora on me, and I really ought to save as much as I can. But please bring these two the best food you have. They're my new friends, so I want to be a good host for them.
Yeah, we're already super grateful for everything you told us about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
How about our charcoal-baked agelenach cakes? They're our signature snack, and they run cheap. Look, other customers over there are eating some now.
They look kind of burnt and dry. Paimon will pass. Hey, come on! Paimon has personal preferences too, you know. Dunyarzad, we asked a lot of people when we first arrived, and almost nobody was interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. So, what made you want to follow her?
Well, remember when you asked me if I knew how to meet the Dendro Archon? Even though I don't know how, I think I've actually seen her before.
Huh? Really?
Yes, it was when I was a child. At the time, my illness had kept me bedridden for the better part of a year. I was stuck inside and couldn't make any friends, and my parents did their best to find treatments for me. But even then, the Akasha didn't have any helpful information. My younger self no longer had any hopes or dreams. One flare-up was so bad that I was in a semi-conscious state for several days. Then one night, I woke up alone in my room. I was terrified. My body was paralyzed. Even if I cried, there was no sound. At that moment, an ethereal voice spoke in my mind. Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Dunyarzad, don't be scared. You don't have to cry.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
How do I explain this? You might not be able to understand, but actually, I know everything about you.
Really?
Of course. I know that you're scared of thunder, that you hate taking medicine every morning, and that you love counting the petals on your mom's skirt.
Wow, you really do know everything.
Dunyarzad, is there anything you want?
Want? Not really. I can't go anywhere or do anything.
Huh? But aren't you a child? All children have wishes. Tell me what you want, and maybe I can make it happen. But, can you make my illness go away? Oh. I'm sorry. But I'm not powerful enough to do that right now. Then, can you be my friend?
After that, the voice said, "Okay, I'll be your friend." Although my body was suffering during those days, that voice encouraged me and told me many wondrous things. Beyond my window was the flourishing Sumero city. Beyond the city was a lush rainforest. And beyond that was the wall of Samiel, deserts, and all of Teyvat. Once I finally made it through that bout of illness, I couldn't hear that voice anymore. I told my mother about it, but she said that I must have been dreaming. But I know that that voice wasn't a figment of my imagination. Before that, I had never heard of Teyvat. Yes, for sure. If it weren't for that voice, I would have never grown curious about the outside world, nor would I have learned how to read and enjoy so many books. That voice sparked a desire for wisdom. It had to have been the Dendro Archon. I've been hoping for a chance to repay her kindness. In fact, I was running around today to help prepare the Sub-Zerus festival for her.
What's the Sub-Zerus festival?
It's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday, which was the day that she was found by the sages. It's actually an old holiday that originally celebrated Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthday. When she passed away, the holiday eventually became a celebration of the Lesser Lord's birthday. I heard everyone was overjoyed when they welcomed her back to Sumero. In those days, the festival was a huge deal. But because of the Academia's influence, people have gradually lost interest in the festival. The Academia actively participates in Sumero's many holidays dedicated to Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But when it comes to the Sub-Zerus festival, forget any funding. They practically act like it doesn't exist. Maybe they see Lesser Lord Kusanali's birth as confirmation of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's death, so they're reluctant to celebrate it.
Aww, but that's awful.
It is. It's absolutely terrible. Sure, the Greater Lord founded Sumero, but hasn't Lesser Lord Kusanali been the one quietly protecting us for the past few hundred years?
Just remember that we're still out in public. Don't get too carried away now.
I know that people over by the Grand Bazaar still hold the Sub-Zerus festival to this day. But I hadn't met any of them before, so I was never able to contribute. But recently, I made a friend there who also follows Lesser Lord Kusanali. I gave her my savings because I want her to throw a wonderful festival this year. That's the least I could do for Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Hold on, my lady, does this friend happen to be Nilu, the one who sends flowers to the estate?
Yes, that's her.
I saw her leaving the other day with a nervous look on her face. It seemed like she was hiding something in her arms. Did you give her something?
Yes. Initially, I didn't have much Mora prepared, so I had Nilu sell one of my skirts. I've agreed with Nilu to meet up at the Grand Bazaar today and see how things are coming along. Dia, would you accompany me?
Sure. That's quite the trip, though. I'll carry you.
No, that would be too much, even for you.
You might as well just accept the lift. If I let you walk, who knows how long it'll take us. And if anything happens to you, then I'd really never hear the end of it from your father.
But of course. Nilu will be thrilled to hear there are more people interested in Lesser Lord Kusanali. Sorry I'm late, Nilu.
Oh, Dunyarzad. It was taking you so long that I assumed you got trapped at home, but you made it in the end. Uh-oh. But if Dia's here, that means you got caught, right?
You could say that, but everything worked out. She's on our side now.
Not completely.
Oh, and who are these two?
Oh, meet the Traveler and Paimon, my two newest friends. They're visitors who just arrived at Sumera City and are looking for information on Lesser Lord Kusanali.
So you're followers from another land? That's wonderful. You two absolutely mustn't miss the Sabzerus festival. By the way, Dunyarzad, we've already started decorating the Grand Bazaar. It looks spectacular, thanks to your generous contribution.
You're very welcome. It's the only thing I could do. Do you still have enough Mora?
Probably? But don't sweat it. We've already finished renovating the stage. Come on, I'll show you.
I've got great food and great drinks that everyone can enjoy. Wow! This place is amazing!
Not bad. Last time I was here, the stairs were full of holes.
The stairs were nothing. A little while ago, we discovered that the tree above the stage had a huge chunk of bark ready to fall off. Mr. Zubair was worried sick. We reported it to the academia many times, but they never sent anyone to deal with it. We didn't want anything bad happening, so we were going to cancel all the stage performances.
Oh, probably because it was the theater asking.
The academia looks down on performers like us. They probably think it would be best if the theater closed down completely. We can't let that happen, though. Not only would everyone involved in the theater go hungry, but then we wouldn't be able to hold the Sabzerus festival anymore. Thank the Dendro Archon for Dunyarzad. With the Mora she gave us, we hired someone to patch up the tree, and we also gave the stage a much-needed makeover. The stage is going to be even prettier when it's festival time. I can't wait for you to see it.
And I can't wait to see you on the stage. You've been practicing so long already. It's almost time for your dream to become reality.
It's our dream. I'll do my best for the two of us.
Nilu, what are you gonna be doing at the festival?
She'll be dancing the dance of Sabzerus, the most important performance at the Sabzerus festival.
Dunyarzad, have you told him the origin of this holiday?
I only told them about the Greater Lord and Lesser Lord so far.
Okay, then I'll tell you two about how this holiday came to be. According to legend, the Sabzerus festival was originally the Goddess of Flowers' birthday celebration for the Greater Lord. A long, long time ago, on one of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's birthdays, her friends threw her a celebratory banquet. Some of the gods got drunk. One started playing music, and the Greater Lord started singing, so the Goddess of Flowers began to dance. As she danced upon the grass, countless beautiful parisaras began to bloom wherever she stepped. Those brilliant purple flowers became her dazzling stage. All the gods clamored, "Oh, if only time could stop at this very moment." Of course they did. When people mention the gods, they always think of the Archon War. But Sumeru's gods also had happy times. Although they aren't around anymore, they're preserved in our tradition of dance. This outfit I'm wearing is apparently based on how the Goddess of Flowers looked. Though we're just tiny people compared to the divine, we still have to do our best to make sure that the birthday girl feels loved on her special day.
Nilu, you of all people will definitely be able to convey our well wishes to the Dendro Archon. I also noticed that you went the extra mile and scattered parisaras around the stage.
They symbolize the Goddess of Flowers, after all. It's just a shame that all the real parisaras went extinct after her death.
Yeah. The Greater Lord brought forth Patisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers, but she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful purple.
Thinking about the goddess of flowers dance makes me wish I could have seen it. If my stage were anything like that, I'd be thrilled if I had just 2 real Patisaras on the stage. So, Traveler in Paimon, what do you think? Interested in the Sabzeruz festival? Will you two be coming?
All of Lesser Lord Kusanali's followers will be there for her birthday. It'll be a good opportunity for you to learn more about her.
Ooh, Paimon thinks that's a great idea! Hey, come on! There's nothing wrong with enjoying a festival. Besides, it's Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday. She'll be happy to have more people who are celebrating it.
So how about we all attend the Sabzeruz festival together?
Dunyarzad, let me show you which stage decorations we've picked out so far. Traveler in Paimon, if that doesn't sound interesting to you, then feel free to explore the area. Everyone at the Grand Bazaar loves Lesser Lord Kusanali, and we're all looking forward to the Sabzeruz festival.
In that case, we'll take a look around.
Whoa! What's with your yellow hair? And why do your clothes look so funny? Are you an outlander? Did you know that the Sabzeruz festival is about to happen? There'll be loads of fun things to do at the festival. But the best part is when Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, passes out candy to everyone.
Ah, dancing at the Sabzeruz festival. You know, I also danced when I was younger. As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was originally done to honor the Greater Lord. My grandmother said that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all. And Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend and hold celebrations for her too. The Sabzeruz festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life. I heard she forked out a lot of mora to make it all happen.
Huh. Revamping the stage for the festival couldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I bet this year's festival will be one to remember. I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar, but I do know that the residents here have a penchant for song and dance. 2 things that the academia doesn't particularly approve of. Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and... I mean, that's what I've heard at least.
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by this year and buy things during the festivities. Don't be fooled into thinking that Sumeru City has the best of everything. Some festival snacks are only offered here in the Grand Bazaar. And when it comes to musicians, dancers, or singers, the Grand Bazaar's got the best of the best. Sure, those folks at the academia might not like it, but what's a festival without song and dance?
Milu, your outfit looks amazing. There's also something different about you from when we first met up.
I thought I'd add a little extra pizzazz to my dress for the festival. See?
Wow, did you sew all that yourself?
Uh-huh. Sewing is a fundamental skill for everyone in the theater company because we make all our own costumes. Did you know that Mr. Zubair not only can make costumes, but props too? I've noticed that you can't keep your eyes off this crown. Would you like to try it on?
May I?
Of course. The legends say that the goddess of flowers had beautiful horns on her head, so this crown was made to reflect that. Dunyarzad, you look absolutely stunning with it on. It's like I'm looking at the goddess of flowers herself.
Hey! Is that who Paimon thinks it is? It looks like Catherine. Huh. Come to think of it, Paimon's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break. Hey, Catherine!
Huh? Oh, hey! It's the Traveler and Paimon! What's shaken?
Whoa. Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require any complicated functions. But saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Teyvat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Teyvat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues about her brother.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently? Anyways, what brings you out here, Catherine?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If festivals bring happiness to everyone, then that's where their true value lies. Oh, it looks like it's about time for me to be heading back now.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites. We've already made some great friends in Sumeru City thanks to you.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro after all. See you around.
There's something really different about Catherine today.
Hey, Traveler. Paimon.
Oh, hey, Dia. What's going on?
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you. Well, I have an idea that might help.
Are you serious? We'd love that!
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you two somewhere and ask someone some questions. My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet in front of the Citadel of Regzar.
Sounds like a plan! Let's head over to the Citadel of Regzar and wait for Dia!
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the master and mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she probably would have been caught and dragged back much earlier.
You sure sound a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I work for whoever's paying.
Look, Dia's blushing.
Listen, you two. I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord. Oh, hey, Chief.
Ha, Dia! What are you doing here? And well, didn't expect to see you three together.
I take it you all know each other already?
Mm-hmm. We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to Osfon for more info.
No kidding. Huh. So, where's Ruksha? I thought I'd help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
Ruksha's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumera City to begin bolstering its defenses, so people from all over have been called back to the city. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well tell them what we know.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft? Sorry, what the heck are you guys talking about?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you in meeting her.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the Academia than anything else. Let me fill you in. The Academia recently sent a convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village. Word got out, and the convoy was robbed on its way back. The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads. All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port-Ормос.
You two have heard of Port-Ормos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port-Ормos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port-Ормos and ask around yourselves. If you want my advice, try introducing yourselves as students of the Academia once you're there.
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be students in Port-Ормos?
If you're also interested, just go there and see what happens.
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port-Ормos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for King Deshret." Word is that more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
You bet they are. King Deshret's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors of his return. Ridiculous.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own. Well, Traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Thanks, Dia, and you too, Osfond. Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City, let's head to Port-Ормos and see what we can find next.
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sabzeruz Festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that. Good. Then we'll see you both at the Sabzeruz Festival.
Ha! You two must really be something if you've got Dia the Flame Mane speaking on your behalf. The Corps of 30 isn't officially overseen by the Academia, but because we're hired mercs, there's still lots of sensitive intel that I can't reveal to you. In the end, when it comes down to it, the city's safety is both the Corps and Academia's top priority. I've told you all I can about what was stolen from the Academia. As for why you should pretend to be students in Port-Ормос, I'll leave that for you to find out yourself.
It's been a while since I visited the Citadel of Regzar. I'll catch up with Chief for a bit before I head back myself. He really did a lot for me in the past. Remember, to get to Port-Ормos, just follow the river south from Sumero City's port. Just be sure to take care of yourselves out there. We'll meet again at the Sub-Zeru's festival.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride and experience.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the Corps of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumero. Maybe it's because of what Dia told us earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Ooh. Let's get our bearings so we can start looking for leads. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osfun told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port-Ормос. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen item? Well, given all the people that come through here every day. If there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you two?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the academia ever come to Port-Ормос?
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumero City that are about to graduate often come to Port-Ормos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumero City, but Port-Ормos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port-Ормos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the academia. You see over there? Those are students from the academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port-Ормos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about King Deshret and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Rexar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Ahmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port-Ормos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein al-Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that? So, what's our plan? Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 mora! Have you lost your mind? Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Hello there, my friend. Fate must have brought us together.
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Huh! Once we reclaim the power of King Deshret, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of Mora this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick Mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is King Deshret, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when King Deshret exacts vengeance on Sumero, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A traveler?
Now's probably not the time to talk about that. Didn't the students say Eremites are wary of outsiders?
A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port-Ормос? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Paimon can't stand to see so much more go. But there's no other choice right now.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention King Deshret just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're, archaeology students!
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of King Deshret. Years ago, King Deshret founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. King Deshret was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed King Deshret's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. King Deshret isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of King Deshret. I don't have anything to say to you academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the Mora you're worth.
Hey! Shut it all, Hatham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this,
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you, don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Amorites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions! Wait up! It's Al-Haytham, right?
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are you inquiring about that? A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! She's really strong! Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
She doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but she can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those hot-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too.
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing!
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumero to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port-Ормос, the valuable ones are a means to mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, so that's your true objective. With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people. Let's continue our conversation here. If you wish to learn more about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost, then you must help me with something. I need you to find someone named Dory, a traveling merchant. Unlike the peddlers who hawk inferior knowledge capsules, she often has quality goods in stock. Some say that as long as there is profit to be made, there is nothing she won't dare to sell. She's guarded against people from the Academia because most of her wares don't comply with Academia regulations. I think she blacklisted me. I met with her informant, but it soon became clear that they had no intention of letting me get any further. Become one of Dory's customers and earn her trust. This is my condition for further collaboration.
Why do you want us to meet with her?
Until you complete this task, you don't have question privileges.
Fine. So how do we go about doing this?
You two are outlanders who haven't been here for long, so Dory should view you as safe clients. I'll give you the informant's address and their contact password. Beyond the password, though, I have no way of knowing what other tricks she might have up her sleeve. You'll have to improvise.
This is kind of nerve-wracking.
The true challenge begins after you meet her. She has a keen nose for mora and a shrewd eye for wares, and she only likes customers who she deems to have good taste. I'll prepare some funds for you. Buy her highest quality wares and earn her approval.
But we only just saw a knowledge capsule for the first time. We don't know how to tell which ones are good and which ones are bad. Is that something we can learn quickly?
That's true. Have you two heard of elemental sight? Oh, that's a surprise. Guess I'll have to hold you in higher regard. Anyway, that ability should resolve your issue. Here are 2 knowledge capsules. Tell me, Can you detect any difference in their quality?
They look the same to Paimon.
Try inspecting them with elemental sight.
How'd it go? Did you see anything?
Rumor has it that higher quality knowledge capsules generally appear brighter when viewed through elemental sight. That's because knowledge originates from Irminsul, the root of Dendro power itself. The more powerful the knowledge, the richer it is in Dendro energy. However, some canned knowledge with a high concentration of elemental energy is of little use in contemporary times, so those capsules are of little value. Using elemental sight is merely a stopgap measure, but it should suffice for earning Dory's trust.
That sounds pretty impressive.
Here's a sheet with the informant's location and contact password, and here is the mora for purchasing canned knowledge. Don't be cheap. You'll need to spend to catch Dory's eye. If there's any mora left over, just keep it. Oh, and be sure to exercise some caution. There have been Matra present in Port-Ормос lately. Your efforts will be for naught if they catch you.
Matra?
They belong to the Academia's regulatory body. They also handle cases of illegal canned knowledge transactions. Like I said, the Academia has banned both their trade and possession. The Matra are razor sharp. You're in for nothing good if they lock their sights onto you. If you two want to back out, now's the time. Okay, then we have a deal. If you succeed in your dealings with Dory, come find me at the Wikela Funduk. We'll have an open discussion then.
Looking at what Al-Haytham wrote, Dory's informant is a trader near Old Ormos. Let's follow these instructions and try to get in contact with him.
Hello. What are you two looking to buy?
Wait, are you sure you're remembering that right? Paimon doesn't think it was that on the paper.
What a unique palate. We have unripe hara fruits, but we usually keep them in the back. I'll have someone escort you.
Following the paper got us past the first round.
Ronak, these two want to buy unripe hara fruits. Show them to the warehouse.
Got it. You two, please follow me. You two have a fascinating fashion sense. We haven't seen a customer wearing a Sumero rose for quite some time.
Hold on. Let me think. Sumero rose means common merch.
Every ship deserves the best maintenance.
No, look again. We're obviously wearing morning flowers.
My mistake. I do apologize.
Whew. That pop quiz sure was scary.
The warehouse is up ahead. Please follow me. Before I retrieve your products, I need to confirm a few things. Please forgive me, but we may not have sufficient stock for you today. Earlier, many of our hara fruits were taken by mice. Thanks. If better goods come in, you'll be the first to know. You look like you have some skill. Why don't I pick out some fruits that'll make you dizzy?
Yep, that's the right answer. But eating hara fruit that makes your head and ears ring sounds like a bad life decision.
Would you like your hara fruits to be packaged in the Sumero City or Port-Ормос style? Wow, you two sure are generous customers. We'll be sure to package your products beautifully. Okay, everything has been confirmed. Miss Dory is waiting for you up at... Shoot, it's the Matra! Run!
What? The Matra? Where? Heathens that we're done for if they catch us! We gotta get out of here! We don't know this area, so let's follow that informant! He ran that way! Look, he's over there! Hey! If you're hiding from the Rishbaland tiger, come this way! Another password! Huh? Oh, that voice came from behind the building!
Here, over here. You can stop running now.
So you were the one who was calling out to us just now. But, are we definitely gonna be safe here?
These two good customers wish to buy some horror fruit, Miss Dory. And if there's nothing else, I'll just excuse myself.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Huh? Wait, you're Dory? Paimon sure thought you'd look a whole lot scarier.
Hey, what are you trying to say, Princess Pea-Brain? I can be scary enough when I need to be, believe you me. If you don't watch what you say, then you can forget about doing any business. But it seems you two have actually done pretty well so far. Not only did you manage to find the informant, your reactions were also pretty sharp. You don't really look like criminals or anything, but I bet my Mora that you've been involved in some shady dealings, haven't you?
Paimon's not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment, but we'll take it.
I can't risk doing business with people who start huffing and puffing after just a few paces, no matter how much Mora they might have. Not only will they get caught by the Matra, but they'll also get us into trouble. As decent folks trying to run an honest business, we don't need any of that. Wouldn't you agree? So that's why I prefer to have customers like you. It's your first time here, but don't worry, I won't ask too many questions. Even if you wish to buy enough knowledge capsules to decorate your house with, please knock yourself out. As long as you have lots of round, shiny Mora, then we're all good. Ah, yes, of course, of course. Go ahead, help yourselves. Voila!
Wow, she has a trove of canned knowledge. Whew. She'd probably be in serious trouble if the Matra caught her with all this.
What kind of products do you seek, my dear customers? Don't worry, I'm not interested in your reasons for buying. I can, however, offer some suggestions. Take this one, for example. An analysis of the sociological ideology and dialectics of the Hilichurls. Only 3 people in all of Teyvat have ever studied it, making it extremely rare. It's on sale now for 350,000 Mora.
Yeesh, who would want to be an expert in that topic?
Or how about the architectural styles and construction methods of Teyvat in the early Archon War period? With this one, you can become an expert in historic architecture preservation and find an excellent, well-paying job in nearly any nation.
Ooh, now this sounds like it could be useful.
2 million Mora, and it's yours. No discounts.
Whoa, that's a lot of Mora!
Of course, you are free to pick whatever your heart's desire. The contents and price of each knowledge capsule are indicated in small text on the body of each one, down at the bottom.
All right, let's try the method that Al-Haytham mentioned.
You've really got a good head on your shoulders, and quite the eye for quality.
We'll take these, please and thank you.
My, oh my! You are blessed with a taste for both the exquisite and the extravagant. Customers like you are a rare breed. 1 in 100. No, 1 in 1,000 even. Listen, I have a special offer for you two. If you spend just 100,000 mora more, you can pick any knowledge capsule of your choice up to a value of 1 million mora.
Say what now? Hey, did you hear that? Spend another 100K and we get a capsule worth a whole million! But all the canned knowledge we just bought is easily worth 500,000 mora. If we spend just a little more, we can get something worth 1 million mora. Isn't that a fantastic deal? Think about it. We've gone to all this trouble to get this canned knowledge. And so far, everything we bought belongs to Al-Haytham. Aren't you even the least bit curious about how this whole canned knowledge thing works? We're talking instant knowledge here. Don't you want to try it yourself? Come on, come on! We still have around 100,000 of Al-Haytham's moral left, so let's put it to good use by finding something useful for you. Ahem! You've got a deal, Dory! We'd like to spend an extra 100,000 mora.
Excellent! Then please, select from this fine collection of canned knowledge over here.
Hold on a second. Paimon thought we could choose whatever we wanted. Why can't we choose the ones from over there?
Oh, but my dear customer, the knowledge capsules over here are worth 1 million mora each. I'm sure discerning customers like yourselves will be able to find something to your liking. Please, take your time.
Oh, Paimon has a bad feeling about this. Let's use elemental sight again to check these. Huh? Why? Hey, we're getting a capsule worth 1 million mora here. Don't be such a party pooper. Well, anyway, the mora's already been spent, so let's at least try to find something useful. Let Paimon take a look here. An introduction to traditional Sumeri brewing techniques, the art of growing spices, an overview of ancient runes. Oh, how about this one? Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Not sure we'd ever find volumes 1 through 7, but at least this knowledge should be useful, right? Let's go with this one. Dory, we'll take this one.
All right, very good. I'm expecting some new goods in the next couple days, so be sure to check back again soon. Whether it's canned knowledge or anything else you need, bring your mora to Dory and doors will open.
Our dealings with Dory went smoothly enough. Let's head to Wakala Funduk and meet up with Al-Haytham. Hopefully now he'll finally tell us about what the Academia lost.
Trust me, I'll find you.
Mora, mora, shiny mora. Please, come back anytime you need something.
Ha, you two made it. And from the looks on your faces, you were successful.
Whoa, there's so many people from the Academia here. Why would you pick this place as our meetup spot?
Well, Wakela Funduk is under the Academia's control, so naturally the Academia has people working here. I came to Port-Ормос under the pretense of conducting official business.
You're a pretty daring guy.
Relax. No one here is interested in anything we say, and the Matcha won't come here. Okay now, tell me how your encounter with Dory went.
Okay, we did what you asked. So, can you tell us about the knowledge capsule that the Academia lost now?
Before that, I have to ask, why are you two so intent on tracking it down? You don't have to answer, of course.
She just wants to meet the God of Wisdom and ask her about something important. We've been in Sumero for a while now, but we still haven't found a way. When we heard that the Academia had lost something that might be related to the gods, we came here in case it turned out to be our lucky break.
In that case, you're on the right track. A short while ago, the Academia lost a knowledge capsule in the desert. It's supposedly a divine knowledge capsule. Use it, and you'll gain the wisdom of the gods.
Wow! There's really such a thing as that? Hey, if we find it, do you think we could learn how to meet the Dendro Archon? Ooh, or even how to find your brother?
I highly doubt it has any mystical properties, but it does indeed exist. And it's right here, in Porт-Ормos.
So, where exactly?
That's what we need to find out next. I won't deny that. I am investigating because I'm curious as to what the divine knowledge capsule truly is. As you know, the Eremites in Port-Ормos also have their eyes on it. It is an extremely precious item. The knowledge contained within may bring great power or wealth to whoever has it in their possession. Several brigades have been vying for ownership of it as of late, but there is still no victor. My personal finances and connections cannot compete with those of the Eremites. After attempting various methods, I finally managed to reach a tentative agreement with several brigades. I agreed to forego ownership of the divine knowledge capsule in exchange for the opportunity to study it. After all, there's no harm in understanding what it is. However, there are those who are less amenable to negotiation, such as those from Ain al-Ahmar.
They adamantly believe that the divine knowledge capsule contains King Deshret's power, and that he will return to this world when they obtain it. They refuse to let anyone from the Academia tarnish their deity's soul.
So you kept hounding them because they refused to cooperate with you?
Yes. Ain al-Ahmar isn't exactly wealthy, but its members are determined to get that capsule by any means necessary. To that end, they've resorted to many methods more foul than fair in order to amass sufficient funds. So, I've been sabotaging their business to force them into negotiating with me. The divine knowledge capsule should be up for a secret auction within the next few days. Each brigade will place their own bid, and the prize will be covertly given to the winner. To ensure the capsule's security and to evade the Matra's notice, the winning brigade will not publicly disclose their victory. Unless I know whose hands the divine knowledge capsule ends up in, my agreements with them will fall through. Dory is the most reliable source of information, but that avenue was previously closed to me. With you on board now, the situation is different.
In other words, you wanted us to befriend Dory so you could find out where the divine knowledge capsule is.
Yes, you can say that. But this arrangement harms none of us. The day after tomorrow, go back to Dory and try to purchase information on the divine knowledge capsule's whereabouts. If she has no information, wait 2 days and approach her again. If I get the opportunity to study the divine knowledge capsule, I will relay my findings to you. Will that suffice as compensation? Okay, then we'll meet up in 2 days.
Alhaitham, before you go, we actually bought a knowledge capsule for ourselves, but we're not sure how to use it.
You two want to try using a knowledge capsule? Sure, I can teach you. Doing so right under the Academia's nose is a bit problematic, though. What do you say we head to the outskirts of town? All right, this place works. Show me the capsule you purchased.
Here.
Sword Fighting Techniques 8. Huh. A combat class knowledge capsule. This class is something of a rare find these days, since most have been taken by the Eremites to augment their battle capabilities.
Really? Ah, yeah, what a great buy!
If you want to determine the efficacy of this capsule, I can evaluate your combat ability. However, effects will likely be minimal if you already possess a high amount of strength. We can conduct a controlled experiment where you fight 2 battles, one before using this knowledge capsule and one after. While you fight, we can use an Akasha terminal to monitor your various physical parameters. There may be variances in your physical strength between the two tests, as well as a disparity in your opponent's abilities. But don't worry. I'll run statistical analyses afterward to mitigate any confounding effects.
Wow! Haytham! You must have been one of those guys at the academia who got top grades on everything. Paimon's curious about something, though. You definitely weren't one of those students who needed canned knowledge to graduate from the academia, right? So why are you risking getting caught by the mantra for this capsule?
When you are unable to understand a researcher's actions, most cases can be attributed to curiosity. This is but one theory.
Sounds like you're trying to avoid the question.
All right, let's begin the test. Just fight as you normally do.
Don't blink! Hey! Nowhere to hide! Propagate! Incoming! Hey! Cut to the chase!
All right. I'll link your Akasha terminal to record data. The next step is to use this knowledge capsule. Hold it in your hand. I'll help you establish a connection with it so you can activate its power.
Hey, how are you feeling? You mean that it worked?
All right. Time for round 2. Fight with the same composure as before.
Scatter! Speed of light! Don't blink! With sword comes shadow. Incoming! Hey!
Now, I'll start recording data again.
Haytham, how's it going?
Well, the knowledge capsule you purchased did improve her combat capability. During the second fight, her overall fighting performance increased by 0.073%.
Wait, how much? Dory's such a jerk! She totally scammed us! 1 million mora? This thing isn't worth a tenth of that amount!
Of course, this could be because she is so powerful that the capsule's contents were unable to produce a substantial increase. At the very least, this test allowed me to gain more insight into you two. Our deal seems increasingly worth my investment. I'm heading back to Akela Funduk. I await your response in 2 days' time. This is Mora for when you ask Dory for information. Pay her as much as she requests.
Let's see Dory today and ask her about where the divine knowledge capsule is.
Here, over here! Oh, welcome back, my loyal patrons. What can I do for you this time? You name it. Canned knowledge, supplies, or anything else you need. I'll find a way to get it. Where there's a waterfall of Mora, there's a way.
Can you really get us anything we want? Anything at all?
Aha! So it appears that canned knowledge alone is no longer sufficient for your opulent appetite. Then please oblige me. Tell me what you have in mind. Oh! I knew customers with pockets as deep as yours would undoubtedly crave something more profound than ordinary canned knowledge. But you know, that kind of information isn't going to be cheap. After all, I had to work really hard to weasel my way into the auction site. Not to mention that if anyone found out that I was the leaker, I would be in big trouble.
But how can we be sure your information is accurate? Paimon's curious how you just happen to have this kind of info the moment we need it.
Because to me, anything of value is what I consider to be my supply. Therefore, I must always be aware of what's hot on the market in order to secure more sales. As for the information's authenticity, well, you've no need to worry about that. I used a camera to take a picture of the transaction. That way, no one can dispute it. It's always a pleasure doing business with such sterling patrons. Now that you've paid in full, here's the scoop. The Divine Knowledge Capsule was purchased yesterday by a certain Misery, the leader of Ain el-Ahmar.
Ain el-Ahmar? You mean the Aramites who worshipped King Deshret?
Ah, so you're already familiar with them. The group has done everything in their power to obtain the Divine Knowledge Capsule. After all, they believe it contains the power of King Deshret. That Divine Knowledge Capsule is unlike any other canned knowledge I've seen before. It was glowing bright red. The capsule is clearly visible in the picture I took. You can look for yourself.
Thanks for the info, Dory.
Please, it's my pleasure. It's all thanks to discerning customers such as yourselves that my efforts yesterday were not in vain. Please, don't hesitate to contact me if you ever need anything else in the future. More effort, Dory, opens doors.
Well, we figured out where the Divine Knowledge Capsule is. It turns out it ended up in the hands of Ain el-Ahmar. Let's head back and talk to Al-Haytham. Al-Haytham, we got the info you wanted.
Really? All right. Let's hear it.
Dory even gave us evidence to verify the intel. Have a look.
Huh, look at that. Clear as day. It must have taken some guts just to infiltrate the scene of the Aramites' transaction. But then to get close enough to take a picture like this. Bold move, Dory. Very bold move. All right. The person in this picture is indeed Misery, the leader of Ain el-Ahmar. And the glowing red capsule he's holding appears to be the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In which case, if we play our cards right, when we confront them next week, we should be able to force them to show their hand.
At first, Paimon didn't get why you were provoking these Ain el-Ahmar guys. But now, it sort of makes sense. Everything's playing right into your hands. After we defeat them, we can finally have a serious talk with their boss and get them to lend us the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Thank you for your time and efforts. Take a few days off while I make some preparations. Let's meet up again on the afternoon of the arranged date, 3 o'clock sharp. See you then.
Al-Haytham sure is taking his time. Where could he be? Oh, there he is.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Let's head to the pier in front of Pharos Lighthouse.
Yep, let's go.
Al-Haytham. I knew you were crazy, but I didn't know you were crazy enough to actually show up.
It was I who demanded that these negotiations take place. I was more worried that you might go back on your promise. But to your credit, it appears that you're sticking to your word. This is turning into quite an occasion. I also brought some backup. I assume you don't mind.
Backup? Aren't you the brat from the restaurant the other day? You've come to support this lunatic because he helped you out? Fine. Your funeral. I'm not going to mince my words. Once we're done with you, you'll be nothing more than fish food. Get 'em, boys!
Uh-oh, here they come. Good luck, you two.
That's close enough.
Scatter! Speed of light! Cut to the chase! Don't blink!
I'll be back. Lucky today. Come on, coward.
Speed of light! Incoming!
Take that!
With sword comes shadow. Don't blink! Hey! Scatter! Propagate! Incoming!
Academia scum! Boss! Finally! Did you use it? Great! Now we can... Boss? Boss! What's wrong?
What happened to him?
We have to cut his Akasha connection, now.
Target acquired! Arrest him!
Do not impede our work. Is that understood, Al-Haytham?
Of course. I was only trying to help.
Take him away!
World, forget me.
What in Tibet just happened? It's like that big guy suddenly lost his mind.
It looks like he used the divine knowledge capsule.
You mean the divine knowledge capsule did that to him? Oh, yeah. You mean how some researchers go insane after getting knowledge from Irminsul?
I've heard of numerous incidents of researchers in Satyavada life going insane. The state that man is now in suggests that this is a similar situation. This divine knowledge capsule does appear to be linked to the gods, but beyond that, it doesn't seem anything like the rumors suggest. Possessing it doesn't grant you divine wisdom or power. Did you hear what he said? World, forget me. What could that possibly mean?
If the mantra took him away, then that means the Academia got the divine knowledge capsule back too. What a shame. We were so close. Still, Paimon didn't expect the divine knowledge capsule would be so dangerous. Imagine if we tried to open it. Oh, who knows what would have happened to us?
As things stand, there is no reason for me to remain in Port-Ормос. I believe our collaboration has also reached its end.
Oh, we were so busy trying to find the divine knowledge capsule that Paimon forgot to ask you something. Since you're a member of the Academia, do you have any idea how we can go about meeting Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Truthfully, I don't. Lesser Lord Kusanali appears to exist outside of Sumeru's entire administration. Most of the time, you wouldn't know she exists at all. Moreover, since the Academia possesses the Akasha, a symbol of our deity's wisdom, scholars have no reason to desire to make contact with the deity herself anyway.
Everything about Lesser Lord Kusanali is such a mystery!
I'm heading back to the Academia. How about you two?
It's almost the day of the Sub-Zero's festival. Maybe we should head back too. We've been rushed off our feet over the past few days, so maybe a little rest and relaxation will do us good. Then we'll part ways here, Al-Haytham, until we meet again.
Now, do I deal with this thing first? Or should I produce the report that the higher-ups require?